It's the 2020 Christmas special. How are we going to send this shithole of a year out in our last show of 2020? The FBS Final Four are announced. Do you notice anything different? Yeah, neither do I. It's time for a playoff. Enough is enough. If you're a fan of Coastal Carolina, you should be beside yourself. Texas A&M. Are you pissed off yet? You both got screwed. Join the line over there with UCF. It's the bowl season, and we'll be doing our bowl picks. Not all 50-some-odd bowls, mind you, but we'll pick a few interesting ones. Musical guest Joe Ellen Lyons will be joining us for some Christmas cheer, and we'll set our goals for 2021. Heading into the new year, movie makers, content creators, actors, musicians, bands, let's collaborate. Contact me at MikeAllenSports@gmail.com to get booked for 2021. Alexander Lee is at the helm. Mad Mike is in his corner. Let's get this shindig started. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave, and you are now on the air. The views and opinions on the Air with Mike Allen show do not reflect the views and opinions of other shows associated with Fort Kick-Ass Productions. This show is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is advised. There I am. Hello, and welcome to the last show of this train wreck of a year that is 2020. I'm Mike Allen here in the Radio Man Cave. And before we get too far into the show, you know, when we started this year, 2020, we had a lot of big plans. I'm sure everybody did. But, of course, it was all derailed by the media circus that is the pandemic. Concerning COVID-19. And I'm not going to get into any discussions about that. You make your own decisions, but I would suggest you walk out your front door and look at the physical evidence before you believe anything you hear or see on TV. Go out and figure it out on your own. But this year kind of took us all by surprise. Started out bad. My lights are falling to see. It's even ending bad. As my lights are falling down from behind me, they'll probably fall down the rest of the way. I don't care. I got Tiffany, the Christmas tree here next to me. Tiffany's going to be with us for many, many years, hopefully, if Mike doesn't kill her. So we start out with just one ornament this year. But anyway, 2020 has been a mess, and it's been a mess in many ways, and we've had to adjust in many ways. And hopefully what I hope comes out of all this is that we have a better sense of the information that we're getting, and we learn how to discern that information and vet that information and actually go in and dig deep and not just look for things to confirm our opinion or our feeling about something, but look at all the information, even if it goes against what we want to feel. And to make sure that we're getting the proper information. I mean, to have an election in 2016 where the Russians interfered with it and all they did is set up fake accounts on social media and post stuff, that doesn't really show a lot of technical savvy in affecting the elections, but what it does do is it shows how much we as Americans have lost our sense of discernment and how we as Americans can't think for ourselves, that we have to be told how to think, that we have to be told what to feel. You know, it's gotten to a point now where if you're a Democrat, you have to hate Republicans. If you're a Republican, you have to hate Democrats, and that's not a good place to be as a country. It's not. So I hope in 2021 we kind of step back a little bit. I don't care who's president. I don't care. Look, Biden, Trump, I don't care. What are we doing individually to make ourselves better in our own situation better? If you're sitting around waiting on a $600 check from the government, that's not a good place to be. That's a horrible place to be. you need to get up and do something so you don't need to depend on the government. And don't take it personal when the government fails you, because that's what governments do. They fail people constantly, all the time. Jesus Christ. Really? No, it's not. I can hear it. God, right? Again in the middle of a monologue. But one of the big things I think a change I should see out of this the year is in the college football arena. And we're going to talk about that because the Final Four came out. Clemson, Alabama, Notre Dame, and what was the other one? Ohio State. Now, for everybody paying attention, there was 3 other teams that went undefeated that played more games than all 4 of the teams that are in the Final Four. And in the Final Four, 2 of the teams played each other twice and split losses. But a committee again decides who the 4 best teams are in America instead of a playoff. I'd like to welcome into the studio, to my right, the Sky Marshal Leland Freeman, who is fresh off of flying around Texas, and in the man cave, producing and hopefully joining us in this conversation is Alexander Lee, the player to be named later, and Mad Mike. How are y'all doing today, guys? How was your week?
It was good.
It was good.
I saw those horrid Christmas lights you put up.
That are falling down. They won't last the show. What's the over and under and how long they're going to last?
Yeah.
Just stick them on Tiffany.
Did Mike take his down or is his still up?
What? What are you talking about?
There's lights behind me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Light.
Hey,
Well,
Mike?
yeah, they're falling down
They're
because
falling
somebody
down
doesn't
too?
know how to put up lights.
He just
Well-
came in here and he was like, "Oh, this looks good here. This will stick."
I'm just trying to make it Christmassy, man.
Christmas.
Yeah,
This
how
is-
dare you take down the PTR sign?
Well,
That's
the PTR
literally
is not
bad
going to
luck.
happen. Probably not going to happen in 2021. I mean,
Not with that
I hope
attitude.
it. I hope
Yeah.
it does. I hope things come together. I have plans, but you know that income stream abruptly was taken away, so we have to readjust our priorities and move on. So,
To PTRs.
Yeah.
well, keeping the lights on and putting food in my belly would be a good start too.
I'm just like, why'd my Christmas light display get taken down? I was very sad about that.
You're very sad about that because
Then you have the
nobody
audacity to
really.
take Tiffany.
Well,
Yeah.
Tiffany's on. I'm making Tiffany part of the show.
I mean,
She's shy.
Tiffany's still
Shot.
alive. She's even
Yeah.
got. Did you see the ornament? See the little ornament?
Oh, now you're.
don't touch it.
Yeah, that poor
We're live
tree.
right now. I'd appreciate it if you didn't touch it.
Yeah.
It's a tree.
What?
Well, it's a specific kind of tree, and you're over here diddling it.
I was
I'm
gonna
not
say-
diddling a tree.
Yeah.
This is
you
Tiffany. You
should-
gotta embrace it and pet it.
You should see what you should see the way Radar's looking at it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Radar's
I don't think Radar's really looking at anything.
Yeah.
Well, how'd your year go,
Oh man.
Leland?
You know what's going to be exciting? People are going to get to hear eggnog ASMR throughout the night. Oh, did you bring your eggnog too?
Yeah.
Oh, sick, bro.
It's in my car.
Let's nog it the fuck up.
So,
Noggin.
so
Yeah.
you're
Gonna
just
be
gonna blow up the cave? Is that what you're gonna do?
family festive fight milk.
No, that's your problem for later.
Oh, so
Why does it do that?
I don't know.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about getting that other $600 so I could use it to go and buy stuff that the
Hell yeah,
government will
ammo
not be
money.
happy
It's
about.
ammo money, right?
If
That's
you can find
rice,
any in
bean, and
stock.
ammo and money.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to go buy like bullets and probably a helmet.
Well, you can get a helmet, but good luck trying to find some bullets.
And it's going to be cool.
Hey, did you went to the range this last weekend, Mike?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, had to go and show off, basically. No, we didn't really do much. We sighted in 2 rifles. Once we got optics mounted on them, I had to check the point of impact adjustment for running a rifle with a suppressor.
Nice.
So once I got that, because I mean, it wasn't like super noticeable, but it was about an inch off. And a POI shift when running a suppressor on certain guns, it is noticeable enough. So it was like, all right, just know, this is going to hit Goofy at 100 yards.
Doesn't the velocity actually increase when it goes through a suppressor?
No.
No, it basically what a suppressor does is exactly what its name implies. It helps with the blowback. It helps with muzzle control to get back on target for a second shot. Noise reduction. I mean, it's not like the movies where it's silence.
It's like a muffler.
Yeah, it's like a muffler. Yeah, think of it like that. I don't think it really has anything to do with slowing down the velocity of the bullet. Mike might be able to talk to that, but
I thought it actually sped it up slightly because it increases the barrel length.
no, because it doesn't touch the bullet.
No, because the gas ports out into the silencer
Yeah.
or into the suppressor.
Yeah.
It's kind of a dispersion.
So-
It softens the dispersion of the gases,
Yeah, it helps redistribute the
inertia.
it helps like the sound waves that like exit the muzzle. It helps like it's like suppressors are just a series of baffles.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just baffles it.
Yeah, so it just kind of like grabs all of it. Now it doesn't increase back pressure and all that other stuff. So literally, I was just tuning a gun, and then after that, we tested out a new handgun that my cousin got. Then I tested out my USP and just showed off with the PTR and Mosin as usual. And then we made a day of it and left.
Nice.
Then we bought a whole bunch of MREs and 8 MREs, so that was cool.
Did you guys go to that place in Converse?
So how?
Do you know what we got?
Chili Mac?
Chili Mac.
Hell yeah.
So how is that bowel movement?
Or
Well,
lack thereof.
oh no, I drank enough eggnog on Friday. I am not joking. You can ask Alex. I think I drank like a gallon while I was there.
Close to.
Close to.
Yeah.
It was like 4 of these. But yeah, I drank about a gallon worth, and I had diarrhea until 5 in the morning
It lubricated the
on Saturday.
MRE. That's great.
Yeah, it was.
All right, college Final Four. Final Four. This is just another argument for an expanded playoff. Coastal Carolina got snubbed. They're a Division I football team. They didn't get in. Texas A&M got snubbed. They had 1 loss, but they were playing near the top of their game. But Texas A&M wasn't the SEC champions. But if it were up to me and I had a vote in anything, there would be 14 to 16 teams. All the conference champions would be seeded by record. So whoever the conference champions are, they get in. They're in the bracket, period. And then if you have some with a 16-team bracket, you're going to have some outside games because there's going to be non-conference champions that had good records.
Well, Notre Dame should.
And then the independent. Well, Notre Dame's in the ACC.
Right, and they shouldn't have been seeded because they got whooped by Clemson in the title game. And like I agree with you, there should be at least 16 teams, maybe even 32-team playoff.
Not a 32 team.
Not 32 teams.
No, just the conference champions. All the how many conferences are there? There's what?
Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12,
Eight
SEC,
conferences?
ACC, Mountain West,
Conference
USA. Isn't there like a Big something conference?
Big Sky Conference.
Big Sky. Then there's the Sun Belt.
Somebody do some quick looking it up to see how many BCS Division I conferences there are. But there's enough to where all the conference champions can get into a playoff style bracket, and then by record, if it's an even number, but it's an even number that doesn't, like a 14.
What am I looking up? I'm sorry.
How many Division I conferences there are? I think there's 8.
FBS, I think, is what it is now.
FBS, yeah. I think there's 8.
Okay, according to this, there's 69.
69 conferences.
There's
So
more than 69, but no more than 420.
So 35 rounds. 35.
There's 130.
There's
Yeah.
130 teams. How many conferences?
Oh, shit, I don't know.
10.
No, it's more than that.
There are 10 conferences.
10 FBS conferences. 10 Division I conferences, right?
Yeah.
So
sure.
out of 10 Division I conferences, the way it's set up now, only about 9 teams will ever get a chance to play for the national championship. You'll never see a BYU. You'll never see a Colorado. You'll never see a Washington or a UCLA or a Michigan, for that matter, or Kansas State. Or
Yeah, you won't see Michigan because
Arkansas.
Ohio State still exists.
Well, exactly. But even if but even when Michigan was good and beating Ohio State, they wouldn't get a shot at the national championship because they're not one of those 9 teams. You know, if you're not LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson, Florida State when they're good,
Oklahoma when they're good.
Oklahoma
Yeah,
when they're
OU.
good. I mean, those are the ones that always get in. I mean, I remember a year that Oklahoma got into the national championship game with 2 losses. They lost against Texas that year, and then they went to the Big 12 championship and lost to Kansas State, who also had 2 losses, who had 1 loss. And Kansas State didn't go to the national championship. Oklahoma did, and they went and played, I think, either Miami or Florida State.
Was
and
that
got
the year
beat.
that Texas Tech beat Texas and Texas did not get into the conference championship? And Texas goes like, well, we beat both of those teams that were in the conference championship.
Yeah, because Texas beat both the teams that were in it. Yeah, and that was before the playoff, but that was just, you know. Yeah, I mean it's what it is it's a champion by committee, and it's leaving out of 130 FBS teams, it's leaving out 125, 115 of them.
Well, how's Division I AA or Division II? They do it with a proper playoff system.
They
correct?
do it in the playoff system. They got 10 teams, I think, 10-team playoff. Conference champions get in.
Even the high school circuit,
Well,
they use proper
everybody but
playoffs.
FBS has a playoff. Everybody.
Even junior varsity,
Patrick
middle
Davis
school.
says Oklahoma's won the Big 12 for the past 6 years. Has been in the Final Four. What? 3 times? 2 times?
I'm still over here disremembering. It was back.
Yeah,
in
the fact that Notre Dame
2007.
lost, they got whooped by Clemson. They still made the top 4 is ridiculous.
Back in 2007, if you guys remember, during the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, when OU, who was 11-2, went and decided that, you know, they were going to play the Boise State Broncos, and lost, and it was beautiful.
Oh, one of the greatest college football games ever played.
Yeah. And
Let me preface that. It was the last 5 minutes of a college football game ever played.
yeah,
Because the rest of the game was not that exciting, but the last 5 minutes of that Oklahoma Boise State was, and I still watch it from time to time. Just the last 5 minutes of.
Yeah. No, it was super cool, but it was one of those things to where, like, yeah, they were 11-2, I think.
Yeah,
Before
they
they
were
went
11
into
and
it,
2.
or,
They were 11 and 2. They lost. The year that they went 11 and 2 and went to the national championship, they lost to Texas, and then they lost to Kansas State, who had 3 losses in the Big 12 championship. So they weren't the conference champions, and they had 2 losses, and there was another team that had 1 loss that they passed over, and another team that had no losses, that was undefeated, that Oklahoma passed over because the committee decided, this was during the BCS, the committee decided that they were the better team.
Yeah, no, this whole committee, like the BCS poll, is just so stupid.
It's retarded.
Like, I don't know. And that's why, like, you know, I don't really like watching NFL anymore because it just kind of sucks.
Well, except tonight because Pittsburgh's getting run by Cincinnati.
And then, you know, then I don't really like watching college anymore because basically, like, all your games are worthless because I already know who's going to be in there. Like I'm not. Why would I watch a sport if I don't am not emotionally invested in any team? Because oh well, they could do really well this year, and they're gonna go and play their little bowl for their conference, and then that's it.
And Randy, I do have a problem with the committee because the committee leaves out conference champions. The committee, it's a popularity vote. So even if you expand it to 8 games, it's not going to eliminate any arguments because it's just going to be the same 8 teams every year. It's going to be the exact same 8 teams. Yeah. There's only about 9 teams that ever get a shot.
Let's see.
So they're just going to put all the teams that they normally would put into that 8-team playoff, and it would be by committee. So we're not going to let Boise State, who's undefeated and Conference USA champions, in, but we're going to let this 2-loss Notre Dame team in.
That lost their conference championship.
Because it's Notre Dame.
That lost to Clemson.
Yeah, it needs to be a pure playoff. No committee, no deciding who's in over who. The only thing the committee decides is what seed they put them in the bracket so they can match them up by a seed. And it needs to be either an 8, it needs to be either a 14 or 16 game, or 14 or 16 team playoff.
Maybe a 16 team.
I would love a 16 team because that's 4 weeks of meaningful football.
But especially since you're talking about college, college kids with only 4 years of eligibility, excluding the crap that's going on with COVID this year, where everyone gets a free year.
And before everybody gets bent out of shape about the classes, they got classes. That only affects 2 teams. Because if you lose, you can go back to class. Not all 16 teams will play the entire month of December. And
they're not in classes right now. They took their finals and they're done.
And right now, come to think of it, right now you got teams that are traveling all over to play in front of empty stadiums for bowl games, and they were playing in front of empty stadiums before COVID.
Doesn't make sense. In fact, the Rose Bowl's not even taking place in California this year. It's that embarrassing. It's taking place in Dallas.
Quick witty, this is whatever the hell I want it to. And tonight we're talking about sports because it is the bowl season. No, Randy, a 16-team playoff takes 4 weeks. That's basically the month of December. That's 8 games, 4 games, 2 games, championship, 4 weeks. So no, it wouldn't take that too many weeks. It would take 4 weeks. It would take the month of December. Like right now, we got usually right now, outside of a COVID year, we would have NFL games on Saturday because all the regular season and conference championships are over, and we're waiting 4 or 5 weeks for the for the bowl games on New Year's Day. Now it's the playoff, but whatever the bowl games were. So now this is bowl season. So all these and there's 47 bowls. 47 bowls.
And 40
Who the hell needs 47
and 45
bowls?
nobody gives a crap about, correct?
And nobody outside of the 2 that are being played for the Final Four, no one cares about the rest of them.
Yeah, don't mean anything.
Yeah. I mean, they got the Tony the Tiger Bowl.
The Cheez-It Bowl.
I had these saved. Hold up.
Oh shit!
What about the Margaritaville Bowl?
The Margaritaville Bowl.
That's
another
not.
one.
That's. I was just making that up. I don't know.
I
if
bet
that's
you
real.
there's one though.
Is there literally a waste management toilet bowl?
It probably is a bowl, but it's not a football game.
What do we look up? The
I got
margarita.
it. Let's see. 2020 bowl game schedule. So we're going to start out. Let's see. We'll go all the way back.
And most of those bowls had empty stadiums to begin with, whether it's a COVID year or not.
Well, because it's basically 2 sub-500 teams.
I thought you had to have a 500 record in order to get into a bowl.
Yeah. So you got 2 500 records. Unranked teams playing in front of a stadium that holds 60,000 people, maybe has about 1,500 people in it. So December.
How did this?
December. God dang it! This isn't giving me the. I got to find a better list here. Because I know there's over 40 bowls. you find him, Mike?
Let's see here.
Mike, did you find him?
What about?
December 21st, the Merrill
Hey, be a
Beach
part of the
Bowl.
conversation in here.
Oh,
Whoa,
they've
chill
already
out. You're the guy
played.
with
North
the phone
Texas
in your
lost to
hand.
Appalachian State, 28-56. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl. That's tomorrow. Tulane versus Nevada.
Okay, let's start from the beginning here.
That would be the Merrill Beach Bowl that already took place today.
Who won that one?
That would be Appalachian State. Kicked the crap out of North
When was-
Texas.
All right, what was I supposed to look up?
I don't know. You said I'll look it up, and then you didn't look it up, and
No,
then you guys
I
turned all your
literally-
mics off and went off camera. So
No, I was looking up to see if the Margaritaville Bowl was a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, and actually it is. Go ahead
It
and
is?
show them what it is.
Yeah, yeah,
See who wants to be shitty and have us
yeah.
talk about sports that we don't know anything about.
Since you're making me all grumpy.
Go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah.
no, I knew there was there was a margarita bowl. That's why I was like,
No,
yeah.
well, it's not what you think.
Yeah, totally.
It is absolutely
There's a Mayo Bowl.
glorious. And
So
I
the
kind of
Myrtle
want
Beach
one.
Bowl, Appalachian State, North Texas. That was today, right?
Yeah, and North Texas got its
North
ass handed
Texas
to them.
got it. Yeah.
There you go.
Look at all its majesty.
I'm gonna have to wait. Until
You're gonna,
it
yeah,
comes
you're
out.
gonna
You
have
can
to
fill it
wait.
with booze.
Famous
There you go.
Idaho Potato Bowls tomorrow. Tulane versus Nevada.
It's like a canteen.
Roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl.
Margaritas.
UCF versus BYU. That's also.
You're talking very, very loud with the mouth. There you go.
Okay. December 23rd.
Leland, we were talking about the Margarita Bowl, something that was very important at the time.
Yeah. And you're over here
and
That's the
talking about
margarita-
other
that's
stuff.
the margarita bowl.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No.
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes, if you hold it away from your
Okay.
mouth and not talk
December
so
20
goddamn loud.
December
talk over people.
23rd. R plus L Carrier New Orleans Bowl. Louisiana Tech versus Georgia Southern. Montgomery Ward's Bowl is also on December 23rd.
Yeah, so all these bowls are basically trash.
New Mexico
so.
Bowl.
So all these
Carmella
bowls,
Bowl.
stop. All these bowls are basically trash, but we're gonna pick some. So Mike, get your pad out.
Well, there's a certain
Hey, Quick Witty, you know, if you don't want to watch, don't watch.
Hey, why you don't be
the last
shitty
one.
to
No,
Quick
I'm
Witty?
not going to be. I'm
What
not going to
Quick
sit
Witty
here.
you being shitty about?
I'm not being shitty about it, but we're talking about football right now. That's what we're talking about.
Hey, don't look at the chat no more. Get it out of here. You're being,
I'm going to be looking at the chat because we're going to be picking bowl games here.
Yeah, why are you
being
being
all angsty.
you got
right now.
you have your pad out or not?
All right, which bowler am I picking for you guys?
Let's see. Let's pick a couple here.
We got the
None of
porcelain
these teams
bowl,
are very good.
the
So
ceramic bowl.
The plastic bowl.
the plastic bowl.
There actually is a
toilet bowl.
There is a
The
toilet
Pope
bowl.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. The Cure Bowl. It's going to be on.
The what?
It's called the Cure Bowl from Orlando, Florida.
Spell it.
C-U-R-E. If you guys want to pick these in here too,
The Cure Bowl.
the Cure Bowl. That's what it's called.
Okay, what is the whole? I need a background story for this. Is
I don't
this
know.
like the cure for COVID, or is this like the band The Cure? They're like,
it's
oh,
probably
we're gonna
That's
name.
a legitimate question.
It's
I, too,
probably-
want to know.
it's probably the cure for COVID. We'll call it the cure for COVID. But it's two good teams. Coastal Carolina, who ended the season undefeated and should be playing in the Final Four, against Liberty, who had its best season ever with only one loss. And those guys will be playing together in the Cure Bowl. So I'm going to take Coastal Carolina.
Oh, okay. I found out why it's called the Cure Bowl.
Why is it?
The cure for breast cancer. So
Breast cancer.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
Well, another good
that's
cause.
actually pretty
There you
tits.
We're not going to be a political show tonight, Quick Buddy. We're talking football and bowl games and stuff. So
Yeah. Okay. So
the Cure Bowl, Coastal Carolina versus Liberty.
okay.
Make your picks on the in the chat.
Well. Yeah.
So Mike's got Coastal Carolina. Who you got? Leland.
Let's see. What are we looking at again? So Coastal Carolina versus Liberty. How was Liberty's record this year?
They're good. They were good this year. They had like a 7 or 8 game streak, and then they got beat, but they were doing good.
Liberty.
Liberty. Who do you got? Okay, yes, Patrick. Michigan sucks. I get it. Goodbye, Quick Witty. See you next year. Randy Fry, Coastal Carolina.
God.
The curable. What was it? Coastal Carolina and
Coastal Carolina is undefeated at 11-0 and should have been in the Final Four. That's why.
and then what's the other one?
Liberty?
Okay.
Liberty University, who's also had a good season.
So Leland, Randy.
Patrick and Randy both picked Coastal Carolina. I picked Coastal Carolina.
Patty. Okay, so you picked Coastal Carolina. And then Randy and Patty picked Liberty.
No, Patty picked Coastal Carolina.
Okay. And Randy picked Liberty?
Leland picked
Oh, I
Liberty.
picked Liberty.
And the rest of us picked Coastal Carolina.
Okay. Well, I don't want to pick the same thing as Leland, so I picked Coastal Carolina.
Ass.
Now I'm going to pick the Cheez-It Bowl because it's the freaking Cheez-It Bowl. That's going to be on December 29th. Number 18, Miami versus number 21, Oklahoma State. And this actually probably be a pretty good game. The Cheez-It Bowl.
And what was it? Miami?
Miami Hurricanes and the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Oh, ew.
I'm picking Oklahoma State.
All right, Leland, who'd you pick?
Oklahoma State.
Of course you would.
I'm going to pick Miami.
Yeah, I'm going to pick basically whatever the opposite of Leland picks.
Okay.
So
So waiting on Randy and Patty.
Miami State for both of us?
Yeah, University of Miami for me and you.
Yeah. So I said Miami State.
Patrick says not the Cowboys, so he's picking Miami, and Randy's picking Oklahoma State.
Randy, you are so wrong. It's horrible.
Our musical guest is here. Yay.
Randy, that means you have to get off the couch.
Good right now, Alex. Some corn.
She's got to go in and figure out how we can get her music to play.
Corn?
Yeah, I kind of want to eat some corn.
So
I was
the
gonna stop
Valer-
and get you what's called corn nuggets on my way in.
the next game up, let me know when I get to let's do 6. Let's do 6 of these.
All right, well, we already have very close to 6.
We got how many?
2.
All right, the next is the Valerio Alamo Bowl, Texas and Colorado, only because it's Texas.
The Venereal Anal Bowl?
Yeah. The Valerio Alamo Bowl.
No, flush away.
Oh, flush? Oh, no,
Yeah. We take big poops in there during the show. Nobody knows.
It's okay. If you flushed and we hear it, we just assume that it's Mike talking about Detroit.
Yeah. Get wrecked. All right, so
Well, we talk about football, right? You want to talk about sports?
Man, oh man.
Man.
so the
Love
Val-
I get.
Now that I can see that you're a little bit agitated, I'm just going to pick on you for a second.
Yeah.
So it's the Valero Bowl?
The Valero Bowl, Texas and Colorado. I'm going to pick Colorado.
UT?
Yeah,
In
University
Colorado?
of Texas in Colorado.
Okay. Leland, who do you pick?
You know, I'm going to pick Colorado because Tom Herman's overrated.
All right, cool. I'm picking UT.
Looks like Patrick's is picking Colorado. I'm picking Colorado, and Randy Fry is picking Texas.
Losers.
I don't understand. I get like UT. I get the whole culture isn't super great, but why is it Texans always go for the other team against UT? Like that's That's blasphemous.
Those that
Isn't
have
it,
gone,
though?
those
You'd
that
think
have,
it would be.
those that have gone to UT know the team is overrated, and
No,
those that
I
go
mean, I
to
get
UT
that.
and those that go to UT know that they need to have a really bad year to do a proper rebuilding, which they have not done,
They've had really bad years.
and they
They've
have
had a
not done
bunch
a.
of really
They've had
bad
a
years.
bunch of really bad years.
And they need to have a really, really bad year.
It's
As in
not-
a couple
it's
years
not-
in a row
it's
of not
the
even making a
team's
bowl
fault
game.
That the alumni are all buttholes.
They could have
mean-
hired Nick Saban.
No, they couldn't have.
Yes, they could have.
No, they couldn't have.
Yes.
All
All
I'm
Saban is not
hearing-
leaving
It's not-
Alabama, dude.
It's not about that though. It's about the betrayal. It's about going for OU when they're going against Texas, just
Yeah.
because you like Southwestern or sorry, not Southwestern, Texas State or A&M. Like I just don't get. It's ridiculous to me.
I wish.
It's like
All I hear are
wish
people
Chuck
coping.
Licata was here because he would fully agree with me. Texas
Seed
is
harder.
overrated on their legend.
We're not arguing the fact
not
that
arguing
they're
about
overrated.
Yeah.
But no, they would never have gotten Nick Saban away from Alabama. So stop it, because that's
Also,
the type of
who did
arrogant
Randy
thinking.
pick?
Randy picked Texas.
Smart, Randy. You're smart.
Yeah,
You know who's not smart? The three of yous who picked Colorado.
I just picked Colorado just because for the hell of it.
Yeah.
I just think it's bad energy, man.
I think when they got rid of Charlie Strong, they fucked up.
Oh, here the VRBO.
Verbo.
Dude, Verbo's a sick app.
Come on, Radar. Come on.
Isn't that how we got the house through for Gaskin's thing? Is VRBO?
Got the what?
Yeah, it might be.
When we all rented that lake house thing for Gaskin's thing, that was through VRBO, wasn't it?
Shit, I don't know.
Dude, that was sick. That
I
was
guess.
so cool.
VRBO Citrus Bowl is Northwestern versus Auburn. That's going to be a good game. That is going to be a good game.
You said Northwestern versus Auburn?
Yep.
Auburn.
I'm going with Northwestern. That's Big Ten.
All right, so Leland, you picked Auburn?
Yeah, but that's SEC. So
Perfect. I will pick Northwestern. I love this method. This is the
You got
best
to move
method.
over more. You got to give up.
Leland,
more
move
of the
your
couch, Leland.
ass.
what?
Move over.
I
Good Lord.
Move your dump truck.
Did your
leg.
mama ever teach you to stand up?
Sitting on half the couch. And our musical guest is coming in here. Is that your
Northwestern.
go in and see Alex about your
Northwestern.
playlist.
Patty and Randy, I need your picks.
Patty is 420 land. I don't know what that is. And Randy Fry is Auburn.
Probably Northwestern or whatever.
Probably Northwestern.
No, 420 land, if that's from Patty, is for Colorado.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense. And he's picking what you picked between Northwestern and
Okay.
Auburn. I'm taking
So-
Northwestern.
What does Randy pick? And I need Patty's pick, Northwestern or Auburn?
Randy, Auburn.
Why would you pick Auburn, Randy? And Patty?
Patty is picking what you pick.
Northwestern.
Northwestern.
Smart.
Now we should have 2 games left.
Sure.
And that's the final 4. So Clemson and Ohio State. I'm picking Clemson.
Clemson. Did they pick the Heisman after the first round of the playoffs or before the first round of the playoffs?
I don't know. I think I don't know. If it should plug right into the board, Alex. I tell you what, before we pick the final 4, let's go ahead and take a break. Alex, play that video, and I'll come in and I'll help you hook that up. We're going to take a break and be right back. The final 4, the college, even though I don't agree with it, we're going to go ahead and pick the winners. But for now, let's enjoy Dawn of the Dude. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave, and you are on the air.
Girl Scout cartel are at war with the Blood Anarchist Lactose Lunatic Society, or BALLS. I don't like to get involved with politics, so I don't really follow their specific platform and policies. All I know is the Scout cartel colors are pink, and the balls are blue. My favorite color is blue, so I'm rooting for balls.
You hear the news of the balls who entered the Girl Scout capital?
Oh, no, did they overthrow them?
Nah. GS Cartel released their highly trained bears, pushed the balls back like a winter morning swim in the Colorado River.
Too bad.
Whoa, dude. WTF? What the... Is that on your face?
Oh, it's eczema. It's nothing.
No. That is not eczema. You have the plague, bro.
No, I have dry skin, and it just like flares up every now and then. It'll go away. I promise. It's nothing. It's fine.
Just stay here. I'm gonna get that.
Hi.
Hello, my fellow post-apocalyptic brother.
I was wondering if you would sign this petition to help me save the dolphins.
The dolphins?
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, friend, but pretty sure they all left. You know, when the bombs fell. You know.
What?
Yeah, they're gone.
I've dedicated my entire life to trying to save the dolphins. You're telling me that there's
Radar, come on.
nothing left to save?
Hey, look, man, there's still plenty of other animals out there. I mean, there's tigers being tortured and abused.
See, this is all going to be a performance for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've got cameras
They
coming
don't do
in.
that. You know, you can still go out there and raid and pillage and plunder like everyone else. I mean, you'll find purpose again. Oh, come on.
Can I come in? I need to collect myself. I don't want them to see me like this.
I don't think anybody can see you under all this
Thank
stuff. Okay, just don't take my shit, because I really don't have any shit to... Hold on. God damn it. Okay. Hey, there, buddy. It's all right here. Just have a seat. Just sit down right here. Hey, I'm gonna get you a towel, okay? Yeah, and hey, if you promise not to murder us, you can have some Doritos, all right? Okay, just sit right there. All right. It's gonna be okay.
That's like an hour. Yeah, that's... We're only a 2-hour show.
It's only 30 minutes. I mean, I'm just thinking, but I thought in the interspersing.
Oh, no, dude. Dude. Oh. You can't just eat our guests. Bad roommate. It's a very bad roommate. What am I supposed to do with this guy?
All right. Welcome back. That is Dawn of the Dude. Really fun series that we put together. I think season 2 has been green lighted, so we'll be shooting that early of 2021, one of the projects I'm on. And I think I'm on two more episodes of that. So that'll be fun. We have in the studio my good friend who's enamored into her computer. And how are you gonna hear your music when you have no turn her mic on? How are you gonna hear your songs when you don't have headphones?
I'm not in charge of the sound.
Her mic's on, so.
Do you have
Headphones?
There you go.
I was gonna say, how can we hear your music?
To avoid like the feedback and everything like that we had a couple weeks ago when Patrick was here, if Leland, if you can just kind of maybe
Move your mic away from the. Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, just find another seat, maybe something like next to the big guy on the other side of the big guy or something.
I could just
No,
hold
he
the
should
mic
be-
like this.
He should be good there. You'll be all right. So let's test that music. See if we can hear the music. Make sure we can, because she's going to come in. Joellen is very talented musician and singer. Writes a lot of her own music, and is the front person for the Box of Chocolates. And why do we call it the Box of Chocolates?
Because you never know what you're gonna get.
It has a lot of musician friends, and they kind of rotate through the band, right?
That's kind of how it was. Now I actually have a band. I mean, I have a
You have a band
set group that.
You just kept the name.
Well, yeah, I
Because
started.
I thought that was kind of a cool thing. It's a box of chocolates because it's whoever shows up.
Yeah, it wasn't so much. Well, here's the thing: I started singing 7 years ago. I'd never sung professionally or at all in my life.
Yeah.
I'd given a lot of concerts to the cat, and done a lot of shower work, but I had never actually sung in public except for maybe a wedding or two, and I screwed every one of those occasions up. But I decided to start singing 7 years ago, and when I did, I
Well, I
thought
wouldn't say super lefty, but
I didn't know who would be singing with me or playing with me.
Yeah.
And so I decided to name my band the Box of Chocolates.
Because you never know what you're
You
going to
never
get.
what you're going to get.
That's
And
awesome.
So, I graciously had some people that would actually play with me and, come on stage with me, but they didn't stick around because I was such a newbie, And but now I have a stellar set of musicians, group of musicians. They're badass. And
Well, I haven't come out to see you yet. Of course, it's been kind of hard
I know.
with all this going on. But you've been playing some venues.
We have played consistently since May. We had 11 or 12 gigs this month. I have another one. I had 3 gigs this weekend. I'm playing the day after Christmas. We're playing New Year's Eve.
So are
We had
these
4 the week before that?
So they're just restricting access to the venues, or
A lot of them are outside venues. Is that my computer doing that?
no? It's his microphone.
A lot of them are outside venues. We've played on the balcony of Gumbo's.
Turn off the wrong one.
There
you go.
We've played on the balcony of Gumbo's for three or four times a month.
Yeah.
Since May, which has been wonderful.
Yeah, it might be your computer.
It is my computer.
You on Wi-Fi?
I don't know. Do I have Wi-Fi? Am I on your Wi-Fi?
I don't know.
I don't know if this computer doesn't. This computer does know your Wi-Fi. How is that possible? I've never.
I don't know.
It's been a coon's age since I've been here. How does my computer know?
I don't know. It's just we're getting feedback from the wireless mics.
Okay. Anywho, so we've played a lot. I mean, this has been thank you. This has been a great year for us musically.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Because it's been kind of a messed up year for just live anything, live performances anywhere.
Yeah, and it was a surprise, because we canceled 14 gigs in March. We had to cancel 14 gigs. And then in May, when they kind of opened back up, we started booking, and we have worked consistently since then. And we're in Salado, in Georgetown, in Liberty Hill, and
how many were private parties versus open performances? With restricted numbers of audience.
I don't think any of them were private parties.
It was just all public venues, but they were doing the 6 feet and everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you play on the balcony at Gumbo's, we had the whole square filled up on Georgetown.
Oh, because you played on the balcony.
We're outside of the balcony.
Yeah.
But we also play inside, and they're doing their tables 6 feet apart and stuff like that.
Oh, that stuff.
We played at Barrels and Amps on Friday, and it was filled. I mean, it was about as filled as they could do it and maintain the social distancing.
So how do you feel about the whole COVID thing? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I'm like the worst person to ask. I am because
Because you didn't have any problem coming over here.
not at all.
We shared a hug during the break.
Yeah.
I have people that have told me that they're not coming. They won't come on the show live. They won't come on. They're not doing any. They do everything from home. They don't leave their house. They're
Right.
deathly afraid.
I have musicians who have who choose to only play at outdoor venues. I lost 2 musicians, and I was accused of not believing in science. My boyfriend and I were accused of not believing in science, which was so funny because he sells nuclear sensors. So he kind of is into this. I mean, he thinks they're made by squirrels, so
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm the worst person to ask, and here's why. My mom had cancer 4 times over a 26-year period, 4 different types of cancer, and 2 major complications. My family went through a medical pandemic when I was 12, and then for almost 3 decades, there was something new was happening. There's no part of me. I heard it.
Yeah, all right. That worked, huh? I was just like plugging stuff in. I had no idea what I was doing.
No. Keep it. Yeah, you guys can keep talking about that. I got to figure it out though.
Okay.
There's no part of me that is. I just don't. It's that started when I was 12. I'm 60, and so I went through the trauma and drama of fear of a medical condition so early. And by the time I was 30, I was done. I'm not afraid of illness. I'm just not. I can't drum it up.
Yeah.
Like I'm not real. I'm kind of afraid of pain. I'm kind of like don't want to be in pain. But I'm not. But illness doesn't scare me anymore.
Well, what got me about this whole thing, and I drove rideshare through the whole thing and never got sick.
Yeah.
And and I started wearing a mask when it was required, and people were reporting each other for not wearing a mask and getting fired and all this other garbage. And now I'm not doing that anymore. But through the entire pandemic, that's all I did is delivery and Uber. And I didn't see. I'd hear on the news that the ICUs were filled to capacity and people are, dying, and they've got trucks, refrigerator trucks and all this stuff. But then in just driving around as an Uber driver, I would drive by the hospitals and not see any of that.
Right.
And I'd give rides to doctors and nurses to work, and I'd be like, is this true? And if you look, and this was telling, and I found this the other day, and I have to look it up and find it again because it was just real quick, and I found it, and I'm like, do you know that the mortality rate for 2020 was almost exactly the same as it was for 2019?
Yeah, I saw that as well.
I thought it was slightly less.
Or it might be by a couple thousand, but there's no difference.
Yeah, it's not massive.
And do you know that COVID has wiped out congested heart failure?
And the flu.
And the flu. There's almost no congestive heart failure deaths this year.
It's very bizarre.
It cured congestive heart failure.
So that's why.
Right.
Look at the CDC numbers.
I haven't, so I don't know.
Well, usually it's a couple 100,000 people die every year of congestive heart failure. Now it's less than 50,000, maybe.
Yeah, no, they attribute to like 400,000 deaths a year to smoking.
Yeah.
Whether it be like heart failure or
lung cancer,
and shit like that.
Yeah. COVID cured all that.
Did they? What about car accidents?
Fatal car accidents cured.
No.
Matter of fact, when you go to the hospital now, it's like, what do you have? A headache, COVID.
Well, here's something that's really interesting. I have a friend that is in ICU right now. He's on one of those rotating. I can't say the name. It's a rotating hospital bed to keep his lungs clear. My nephew's had it. He didn't have now he's testing negative. I have a friend who tested negative had every single symptom and was sick as she could be. I have many friends who are affected by it, people in my life who have been affected by it one way or the other. But what's the most interesting thing to me is a year ago yesterday, I was in a car. I totaled my dad's truck, totaled it, and hit my head, hit a tree over here, and walked away. And I went to the emergency room, and while I was there, the doctor said, "Have you had a flu shot?" And I said, "No, I don't." And because I'd had, no, I haven't. And because I'd had a concussion, I had no filter for a while. And I said, "And I don't believe in them." And he goes, "I don't either." He was the nurse. I go, "You don't?" And he goes, "No, I don't." And he starts talking about it. He goes, "Most of us don't. The only reason we take the flu shot is because we're required to keep our jobs." And that just spoke volumes to me. Like, my gut said, I don't need a flu shot. My gut has told me for years.
I haven't had a flu shot since 1997.
Yeah. And I don't think I've ever had one.
And the last time I had the flu? 1997.
But do you know what I mean? Like, he started spouting numbers about how many people die of flu every year and how the flu shot only affects the last year's strain and the strain this year is going to be different. And I just thought, no, I'm good with that. I said, okay, that's good. But here's the other thing that he said that was really interesting. Or here's the other thing that happened that was really interesting. A week later, maybe 2 weeks later, I felt like I had been hit by a truck and with like flu-like symptoms, and I went in. I was sick. I mean, it was horrible. Like, I drove myself to the emergency room at 11 o'clock at night because I felt so bad. It was bizarre. And they said, "Yeah, you don't have the flu." And
so did you test for?
What was January? It was like,
yeah. See, I felt I got sick in February. I thought it was the cedar fever real bad.
Yeah, but
it only lasted like about 4 or 5 days, and then I was okay. And then my daughter had it, and she was down for like a week, feeling bad, but then was back to work after she did the negative test and the quarantine and all that stuff.
But this was January. No one was even talking about it. And what's interesting is that my boyfriend also got sick over like that holiday, to the point that he totally slept through New Year's Eve. Like, slept from like the 30th, early morning. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I'm not feeling too good. I'll call you later." I didn't hear from him for like 3 days. And I mean, because it was like the worst that he'd ever felt. So we think we both had it back in January.
Well, we've known each other now for
many years.
10 years?
Yeah,
at least.
10.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 2010, right?
Yeah.
Well, about 8 years. About 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was after I had left the department and was doing this. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember how we met.
I friended you on Facebook.
Ah, that's it.
Because I thought you were somebody else.
Ah, that's right. That's right. And then we had that conversation. But you have become an awesome singer, and it is Christmas, and you've brought some music, and we want to hear you sing.
Okay.
Can you do it sitting right there?
Yeah.
All right. So what song do you just want Alex to pick a song and start playing it, and then you can just roll with it, or what?
Yeah. Okay. So I sing drinking songs. When I mess up, you drink. And then by the end of the song, I sound so good.
Grab the 2020 out of the.
Since I can't, can you bring up the words for "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas"? I think I know it by heart, but you think you know a Christmas song, all the Christmas songs by
what
heart?
song are you going to play, Alex?
Have Yourself a Merry
Little Christmas.
I mean, there's some other ones on here I can.
Which one do you know? Which one do you want to sing?
I know Santa Baby. I mean, how many are you going to let me do?
Oh, well,
how many do you want me to do?
We'll do one and see how that goes.
Do one and see how it goes. Then if you're going to do one and see how it goes, start with Santa Baby.
Okay.
Okay. You got it queued up, Alex?
Yeah.
You might have to just watch the volume, her volume, and the volume of the music, and just use the sliders for that.
Right. No, understood. Yeah. Leland, you want to go ahead and take a break, go get some water or something? Not sit there awkwardly while our guest is singing?
I was going to actually sing this song to him.
Go stretch. Well, whatever you want, whatever you guys want to do.
All right, yeah. I mean, if that's what you guys want to do,
Yeah.
just gonna be, just trying to be nice. You know, just trying to produce quality show here.
All right, here we go in her premiere. No, you've been on the show before.
I've been on the show before, and I've sung on the show before.
Yeah. So
pretty sure.
here we are.
It's just been a coon's age. It's been forever.
Please welcome to the show, my good friend, Joe Ellen. Take it away.
Wrong song.
We're good.
Santa baby, slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, a 54 convertible to light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the fellas that I haven't kissed. Next year I could be just as good if you check off my Christmas list. Santa baby, I want a yacht, and really that's not a lot. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa cutie, think I really need a deed drink to a platinum mine, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. How's my hair look? Santa cutie, fill my stocking with a duplex and checks. Sign your X on the line, Santa cutie, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Come and trim my Christmas tree with some decorations bought at Tiffany. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. Santa baby, there's one little thing. Oh shoot, a ring. And I don't mean on the phone, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry tonight. Thank you. Thanks. I was writing a song on the way over here, and the chorus is don't that just jingle my bells?
Now that would be an interesting song.
Yeah. I've actually written a song. I've written a Christmas song that I don't have the music to, that I'm excited about. We're going to do a single and release it next year is for the troops. And it talks about, well, I'll just sing the first. The song is about how someone answers the call, and the person left behind is like, I'm missing you at Christmas, but I know why you left. So I'm happy with that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
well, you are getting me motivated. I think it's my mic that's doing it, actually. You are getting me motivated to get the rest of the space finished out, because you see this huge
I know.
space that we have here, and I'm just in declutter mode. Been in declutter mode for like 3 weeks, just getting
good.
rid of my old life, just getting all that out of here, and getting this prepared. Got a piano, got to get that tuned. So
piano.
we'll have everything ready, and
That'll be fun.
we want to have you guys come back. We want to have the whole band come back, but I know they might want to get paid
My band is
in hot dogs and chili.
my band. You should have my band out for your 4th of July party because they party. Are you still doing 4th of July parties?
You know, I haven't done anything like that in a long time. I think the spirit that used to put those on moved on to Utah. So
Is that where she is?
yeah, she's in Utah and
Has a baby.
the baby's good.
Yeah.
Baby's good.
I
Yeah.
miss her.
Yeah. So
I think, and also, did you know that I have a CD coming out?
yes, and I wanted to have you on to promote the CD and probably sing some songs off that too. If you probably not the entire band, but enough to accompany you on some songs.
Yeah, I have a guitar player. My boyfriend is my guitar player, and so we do duet. That's probably why I've done a few more shows than other people, because I can perform as a duo or perform as a full band.
Yeah. Well, the goal is to get a drum kit, a house kit in here, so the drummer doesn't have to. Because I'm a drummer, I understand. I know the pain.
Yeah, I remember you
of
used to have a
dragging.
drum kit in here.
Well, I did, but it never got played, so it degraded, and then it was a cheap drum kit. It was a cheap drum kit that I put really good heads on, and the heads dry rot, and then you hit them after a while and they break, and you got to actually
Did you drum
use
in
it.
a band?
Huh? Yeah.
Did you drum in a band?
Yeah. My band was called Flathead Phillips.
Really?
We were a pure garage band.
What kind of music did you do?
Very bad.
How long did you do that for?
How long was that, Alex, that we were in that band?
We were in that band.
Well,
you were in that band.
Well, yeah, that we did that with the DeRussos, and that was like 2 or 3 years. Well, no, I wouldn't say it was 2 years. It was 2 years.
Did you ever play with the band The Loose Screws?
No. No, I get it. Ha
I get it too.
Yeah.
I played at the venue, the Loose Screw, the other day.
Oh.
You got your pad out, Mike?
Taylor.
We got the final 4 picks. Is he even in there? Is he asleep?
What are you doing?
We give him his own corner, right? Away from everything.
Well, here's the problem, Kay. I don't have headphones today because those broke at work. And then all I hear is grumbling about college football and how Michigan State's crap, but we still can't beat the Buckeyes. And then seething about how someone doesn't like UT. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to go and take care of some administrative business I have to do before Christmas comes around.
Okay.
Because,
but you've written down all the bowl picks so far, right?
Yeah, the last one we left off on was
the Final
Clemson and
Four.
Ohio State,
So
and
Clemson
I
and
wrote
Ohio
down
State.
the answers for Randy and Patty.
So Patrick picks Clemson. Randy picks Alabama. Randy says Clemson takes it all. Patrick says Clemson takes it all. And that's pretty much my pick, too.
And I'm picking LSU.
Okay, so hold on. Who's Clemson playing? Are they playing Ohio
Clemson's
State?
playing Ohio State.
Okay, so I don't give a shit about what that you had to say after that. Who's picking Clemson and who's picking Ohio State?
Patrick.
I already know Clemson, for
Clemson.
Patty and Randy, so I need everybody
Randy-
else's
no,
answers.
So Patrick picked Clemson. Randy
Okay.
picked Clemson.
Who's taking Ohio State?
Yeah, who's
Nobody.
picking Ohio State?
Nobody's picking Ohio State.
All right, well then who's taking Clemson?
Patrick's taking Clemson.
I'm taking Clemson.
I'm picking Clemson. Everybody's taking Clemson.
Okay.
Except me. I'm
So
taking
nobody's
LSU.
taking Ohio State.
I'm picking Ohio State because
Because
fuck the Michigan people.
Yeah, chill out, man.
Yeah.
dude, you're my roommate. What the hell, man?
You
Why so
got
much
nutted
hate?
on.
Also, there's a lady.
They're
in
not
the
even.
room.
They're not.
There's a
They're not
lady
even.
present.
They're not even in anything.
Sure, he has to
So
sit by Leland. So just-
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's being a
So
perfect
the
gentleman,
fact
by
of
the
the
way.
matter is that they beat you. So I'm picking
Whatever.
them.
Okay.
They
All
didn't
right.
play him this year. They got beat by COVID.
Yeah.
Ohio State?
No, Michigan and Ohio State didn't play because of COVID.
Oh.
All right, but did Clemson play?
Yes.
But
Yes.
did Clemson play?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So who's the next game we're picking?
Because all they want to talk about is they just want to beat up on this guy because he's our Republican friend.
Yes.
I thought you weren't going to have politics on this week's show.
I know. I'm trying not to, man. I'm trying.
And I'm not jumping into this fry.
I'm trying to end the year just having a fun time. We got Joe Ellen here singing music. I'm taking Clemson. I'm taking Alabama over Notre Dame.
Is the reason why we're not
Clemson taking it all.
Is the reason why we're not having Chuck chime in with his scores is because he's because of the Steelers getting creamed?
Probably he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't.
What is the next? What is the next series we're picking? What's the next two?
That's it. That was the Final Four, and then the championship game is Clemson and Alabama, and everybody picked Clemson.
Wait,
Okay,
Final
sure.
Four is basketball, isn't it?
I'll just go with that.
No, well, it's historically college basketball, but it's the
right.
four picks by the committee. We had this whole spiel before he came in the show today about how instead of having a proper 16-team playoff, they pick 4 teams by committee. It's
That
ridiculous.
Yeah, that happened. LSU was left out.
Well, LSU sucks this year, but
They don't really suck.
So he was being a perfect gentleman until that moment.
They don't really suck. They're just not as good as they were last year.
yeah, because all their seniors that won it last year graduated are now in the NFL. By the way, how is that quarterback doing in the NFL?
I think he got hurt. The Bengals are playing right now. Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Burrows got hurt, and they
Yeah.
got their backup quarterback in. They were train wreck
Is
in
his name
Pittsburgh. I don't know
Eric?
what's
They're still in the lead.
Erickson?
They're still beating Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's down by a touchdown.
Yeah. So Joe Burrows, man, he is the bomb.
Well, here's the big question because the whole eligibility is put on hold because of everyone gets next year eligibility this year. Do you see who's the Clemson quarterback?
He's going to the NFL.
You think he's going to the NFL even if he doesn't get the Heisman?
What's his name?
Baker Mayfield, right?
No.
Hey, Baker Mayfield
Baker
just took the
Mayfield.
Cleveland Browns to a 10-win season, and they're on their way to the playoffs, man.
So,
So they're not Detroit.
Yes.
So they're not Detroit.
I know
No,
you're right.
Detroit's out.
So can we talk about something that's very important? Very, very important.
Yeah, like why did Arms List start charging you to?
Yeah. Well, I know that because they had a whole bunch of legal fees that they had to
What are they
pay,
talking
like
about?
pay off.
I
But
guess?
yeah. No, I was gonna talk about why Leland's boy appointed
We weren't going to talk about politics this show.
anti firearms enthusiast to the head of the ATF, who's now deciding that braces aren't cool.
Well, we only have about
What is braces?
a
What does he
week
mean by
left to worry
braces?
about it. So
What does he mean by braces?
No,
Aren't cool.
we don't.
We actually have this show the Monday before the final decision is made.
Yeah,
yeah, then we'll talk about that.
except I won't be here.
Why won't you be here?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm leaving. I'm disappearing for a week. We have that Monday off. That whole week
No,
off.
the Monday afterwards.
No, we're not coming
first
back till
Monday
after.
of,
Yeah, we're not coming
January.
back till after the new
first
year.
Monday
This
of
is our last show this year. This is it. This is the final show of 2020.
Yeah, the first Monday of January is January 4th, and then it gets what's called confirmed on January 6th.
oh, the
Yeah,
the
whatever.
ATF thing.
No,
How old is Radar? 8.
Trump or Biden or whatever, whoever.
Trumpeted. What if they just like split the presidency down the middle, like parents do with like kids?
They
when
should.
They divorce.
They should. Like,
I'll
they
have
should
the
get-
White House like
They should get like every other holiday.
like every other week. They get to like stay with the other parent or
Yeah.
something, and that's how they're gonna split the presidency.
And
And
one
then-
one parent will ban you from using the PS5, and the other parent will give you a new one.
Honestly,
One
I think it would
parent
be
makes you
better.
eat
And here's my
vegetables,
solution
and the
to
other
this.
one takes you to Baskin
Like,
Robbins.
Absolutely.
Biden and Trump, neither of them should be president. Just let Kamala Harris and Mike Pence fight for it to the death,
I
like
think
in
that
a
would be cool.
gladiatorial
Mike
arena.
Pence would win that in a heartbeat.
On what grounds?
Have you ever fought a Hispanic black woman?
I thought she was
She's not
Jamaican
Hispanic.
and
I don't know what
tra-
she is, but
She's not Hispanic.
she's one of those ethnicities that you don't mess around with that. You don't.
She's part Jamaican
That's even worse.
Because they're known for being such big fighters.
Absolutely.
Wait, wasn't Miss
Jamaicans are,
Miss
like,
Cleo?
laid back.
Wait, wasn't Miss Cleo Jamaican?
I don't know. Let's have another song. So you
just
guys
ask
are
if
you guys
Korea
are you
was-
guys are steering this into politics.
What?
I wanted to stay away from
Is
politics.
Leland going to bring up his like 1/32nd fucking Creole ancestor? Or
And
some shit?
Quickwitty's on
No.
here talking about Trump's going to have martial law. No one's going to have martial law, Quickwitty. Nobody. There's not ever going to have any martial law ever.
Actually, it happened 64 times in the
Turn off.
past.
Oh, did I say the past?
You said ever.
Do you
You
think
said
we're-
ever.
No,
You said
I
ever.
said
Ever.
we are not going to have martial law ever. Listen to what I'm
Why
saying.
do you say ever? I mean,
We're not.
Certainly, it could happen.
It could,
It
certainly
could happen, but we're not. Not
It
over
just
this.
happened like 14 years ago.
It's in this country.
Yeah.
14 years ago, we
Yeah.
had martial law.
Yeah.
We shut
Yeah.
down the country.
For what?
And the military was patrolling the streets,
Not the
shooting
whole-
people,
not the whole
walking out
country.
the front door.
Not the whole country.
We talk about 9/11. That was like 18, 19 years ago.
No.
Talk about Katrina.
Katrina.
Oh, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're talking about martial law being instituted
We're-
on the
we're,
country
That
by
was done by the
Donald
Well,
Trump.
it
What
kind of
was-
happened this year with the lockdowns because of COVID.
Oh, shut up. Jesus Christ.
What? Dude,
Are you
can't
going to
say
ask me
ever
anything about
Yeah.
politics,
and be
Mike?
on the wrong side of
Are
it.
you even going to ask me anything about politics?
Yeah.
Or is that you just
Sure,
want the-
why not?
You just want the
Fuck it.
you just want the pretty
Yes.
little woman to
Yes.
1 hour and 60 minutes
Politics.
into the show.
Politics.
you just want the pretty little woman to sing a pretty little song.
Yes, that's all I want.
And you don't care if I have
Nah,
an
bust
opinion
out the politics.
about
Do
politics.
it.
Because this is the deal. Biden is your fucking president.
No,
all
he's not.
Biden's your turn his fucking mic off. Biden's your president. All right.
Your language,
Period.
Michael.
He
Language.
is
There's
your
a lady
president.
president.
He won the election.
No, he didn't.
He won. He's going to be sworn in on the 21st, and Trump is out.
No,
all
he's
right.
not.
No one's going to have martial law.
out, dude.
No one's going to have any of that stuff happening. That's what, and we're going to roll merrily along. We're going to
we're
go
not.
to work. We're going to pay taxes, and we're going to die.
Not if people are out of work. If they can't, if they're
Who's going to be out of work?
everyone that's been out of work since the shutdowns.
You can't.
The,
You can't use
restaurants, the
often-
small business owners.
You gotta
But
look
if Trump
outside of-
wins, why are we going to be shut down then? So you're contradicting yourself.
He didn't want to do the shutdowns. He was listening to.
I know, but if you just said Trump won and he's going to win and he's going to be our president for the next 4 years, why are we going to be shut down?
Yes.
Can I say
Yeah.
something?
No. Why are we going to be shut down, Leland? I want to hear Leland's conspiracy.
Sorry, Joe.
It's already happening in Europe. If Biden gets inaugurated in the middle of his inauguration speech, it's like, oh, we're going to have 100. What's 100? 100.
It's whatever number plus 2 zeros.
But what I'm getting at is that Biden's going to say it's 100 days of a lockdown, which is never going to end. Just like what's happening with Europe. Look what's going on with the United Kingdom right now.
They're protesting in Europe.
Yeah, because,
and
because of the
Clutch.
lockdown.
Yeah, and
With their
allegedly,
flares and
yeah.
their Molotov cocktails.
Yeah,
and
because
they're
the government
fighting
shut down
cops.
all the
allegedly
businesses.
Boris Johnson made new COVID.
I have a question. Does
Fuck
my
Boris
hair look
Johnson.
okay with these things on?
Oh
You
no,
what?
it looks
Does
awesome.
my hair look okay with
You
these
look
things
Yeah, it looks
on?
great.
absolutely
Yeah, you look
fine.
great.
Matter of fact, you're
Checking.
making all of us look absolutely like dirt because you look so good.
Wait, what do you have against Boris Johnson? I thought Boris Johnson was Trump's boy.
Yeah.
Boris Johnson is a little bitch.
All right.
Ooh.
You don't
All
have
right.
to say
All
that.
right.
Ooh.
All right, I'm only going to make one. I'm going to say this
I
one
thought
more
he
time.
was, like,
now
years
that
in
I've
Trump's
now that
friend.
I've given up, and you fucktards have taken over my show.
Hey, chill
I'm
out.
sorry.
Whoa.
Move the mic away from your mouth.
Nigel Farage has openly said Boris Johnson is a disappointment, and he's going to make sure that he loses, and he's going to run against him. Boris Johnson is a little bitch because he doesn't stand up for anything he actually says he believed in.
Nigel Farage is a
Wait,
piece
so
of work.
hold on.
I'm
By
not
this
disagreeing
logic, I have
with
a
you. I'm just
I-
saying he's a piece of work. If you kind of watch him,
Yeah, that guy
he's
is
a wild one.
But he stands up for something. You can't push around Nigel Farage. No one is going to be able to call Nigel Farage. No one's going to be able to call Nigel Farage their bitch for anything because he's Nigel effing Farage.
So hold on. If
He's
you
a
say that he
bitch.
actually stands for
Something.
something, and Boris Johnson is quote unquote a little bitch, because he
Did not stand for something.
didn't stand for something. Wouldn't that
He was
make your
supposed to
boy
be
a
the
little
bre-
bitch for
he-
not
Yeah,
he
standing
was
wouldn't that
supposed
make
to-
Trump the same way?
the same way for not
he-
standing for Second Amendment
For
rights
banning bump stocks?
when it's clearly under
No,
attack?
quick
Yeah.
witty, only you don't want to talk football, and you're only one person.
Okay,
You're free
one,
not to
two,
watch.
3.
Yeah.
And it's my show, and I make the rules because this is not a democracy.
But
Right now, this is a
Producing
hostile
over here.
takeover.
I'm producing
I'd
over
like
here.
to
You're over
say
here.
something.
You got your toes in the shop with your dirty socks. Leland's over here with his Velcro fucking shoes over here. Like it's like I'm losing my mind on the you got those lights behind you, just kind of just taped to the wall. You know, talk
Taped
about
to the wall, baby.
I would like to say something about politics, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, say it. We've been waiting.
They've been beating me up since they came in today.
I would
This is
like,
just they finally wore me down. So go ahead.
I would like to say something. One of the things that I think is the most frightening is the lack of logic. You don't see logic. You don't see critical thinking anymore.
no,
at
you
all.
don't.
And either on sometimes on the right, sometimes on the left, and I don't see people sticking to the facts. I don't see people like there's a lot of illogical things. Like to me, it's illogical that Kamala Harris ended up being the vice presidential candidate because here's what it's illogical that Biden ended up being the Democratic. That is the prettiest alcohol ever. What is it?
It's
Is it-
Romulan ale.
Oh, I thought it was mouthwash. It looks like mouthwash.
Product placement.
So y'all turned me off. I don't know why.
It shouldn't be.
No, it's
No,
the
you should still be
headphones.
on.
Oh.
I had to go get a drink. Quick,
Yeah.
lady. Can I do that?
Okay.
Can I do that?
Listen, Mike. Listen, this is like there's such a lack of logic. Okay, the Democratic Party, which is the party of inclusion, the party of diversity, had a gay man running for president, first ever.
Oh yeah.
That we
they
know
had
of.
They had a homosexual.
Right.
They had 6 black men,
Right. Yeah.
5 women,
Right.
and like 3 or 4 Hispanics,
An old Jewish guy.
All
an
kinds of
old
people.
Jewish guy,
Right, and they chose
an old white guy.
old white bread
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
To me,
Oh, yeah.
That makes no sense at all.
Not only
there's
just
no
any old
logic
white
in
guy,
it.
because they could have chose Bernie Sanders.
Right.
They chose the guy that's like
Loves
the-
putting black men in prison.
is the like pillar. He's the catalyst
Of,
of
like-
the last 30 years
Of old white guy racism.
militarization of
Okay,
police.
so here's another thing
systemic racism, like
Right.
all
Yeah.
of it, and they put that
Privatized
He is
prisons.
the
And then they
swamp.
were like,
Who's had
who's
2
his running mate?
strokes?
Also
And he's had
racist.
2
He's had-
strokes.
he's had
yeah.
2 strokes,
Oh, he's
right?
not going to last the year.
Okay,
Now, I'm
wait,
not
wait.
saying that someone's going to kill him. I'm just saying health-wise.
Well,
I
also-
think what they did is they positioned Kamala to become president because Joe's not going to last a term with his
Right.
health, just
Right.
with his health.
They're giving him the most intensely stressful job in the universe.
That ages people. And he's
Two-
already
right.
80s. And he's
he's
already,
already
what,
in his
80?
And
80s.
he's had
He's already in
2
his 80s,
strokes.
yeah.
Okay, so here's the other thing.
That is in his 70s.
And if you look at old tapes of him talking versus him talking now, the difference is dramatic. And it's just remarkable to me. Here's another thing. His campaign was completely illogical. Think about this. He goes under into the basement. They say that he went to the basement. He went wherever. You didn't see him at all. He's running for president. He's not giving rallies. He's not doing interviews. He's not doing anything. And then he comes out and he does an interview with Cardi B. Now, Cardi B's big thing is WAP. This is a guy who has bad optics, about touching women inappropriately. And they have him interview, the one interview that he does in like a month is with Cardi B, who has a song out called WAP, which I'm not going to say, and I don't really need anybody else to say it.
WAP.
But the
WAP.
the lyrics are so sexually explicit, and like I could be if that's what campaign managers are doing, I could do that. That's so illogical to me. So illogical.
And then
It's a lot of gerrymandering and
this is-
showboating and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think
Yeah, but we're the ones that are called crazy to point all this stuff out.
Wait, hold on, Lee. You are just as bad, all right? The people that you go
we
after.
can point all this stuff out, and these are bad and I get all that.
Yeah.
But what all that does is it affects your decision when you go to the voting booth. It didn't affect over 70 million people who went and voted for him in the voting booth. Now, what encouraged me about this election cycle, which I thought was fantastic, and it needs to happen every election cycle, is this presidential election, more citizens registered and voted than any other presidential election in history.
You know who you can thank for
and
that?
And a lot of that was driven by, unfortunately, by propaganda that pushed all of this through social media and everything and got people aware enough to actually go vote. And I think what's more important is that people voted. Now, Trump lost, and don't be screaming in your mic. You got 4 years to come up with a good candidate to run against Kamala or
We're not going to
Biden
have
or whoever.
another one in 4 years.
But I'm telling you this right now, there's nothing is going to change the outcome of this election. Nothing. Nothing's going to change it.
Did you see the DNI report from the...
I did see the DNI report, the very bad Word document that was posted up in the Washington Post and all this other places that obviously didn't make it into any courtrooms or anywhere. I mean, you have to look at all the facts. You have to take your emotions out.
All right, and the courts aren't looking at the facts. They're dismissing it on...
But again, we've had this conversation. You are talking about a conspiracy that runs into the hundreds of millions of Americans.
Yes. The Kennedy assassination.
Because the Kennedy assassination was conducted by hundreds of millions of Americans.
Anyway,
this is what I didn't want this show to devolve into. The last freaking show.
Is that there's a tremendous
amount. All because of one person that's watching this show that cares about this stuff.
No, dude.
And my point is that there's a tremendous lack of logic.
There is,
and it's on both
critical
sides.
thinking.
There's a tremendous and what we should be doing rather than having I'm not saying you shouldn't be debating. I know I'm pointing to you. Because I feel like you're getting picked on and you shouldn't.
Oh, no, we pick on him relentlessly.
But
he takes it.
But here's the thing. I really believe this. We have to figure out, as citizens who are interested in the outcome of this, we have to figure out how to begin to debate this with using critical thinking. We have to figure out. Because I see this back and forth on Facebook. I've had people come at me. I usually run right down the middle and point out stuff like right down the middle. Well, Trump's doing this and so-and-so is doing this. And I have had people come at me and just come at me, and I'm not even responding to them because they're not choosing to be critical thinkers. They've parked their brains
this whole
at
country
the door of their doctors, their churches, the political parties, their computers, their social media.
It's all about being emotionally attached to an ideology.
Exactly.
Leland is emotionally attached to the right-wing ideology. He is blind to any other facts or information that come his way. And we are trying to break him of that. We're trying to break him of that.
No, the authoritarian right.
But
not just the right.
Not just the right.
When you say
hold on.
We're the cool right.
Let me finish. When I argue with people, I'm both the left and the right, and I've got left-wing pages that think I'm a right-wing Nazi, and that's the way it is now. If you're a Republican, you're a Nazi.
Right.
Period. You're a racist Nazi. Period.
Yeah.
But that's unhealthy, and it's not true.
Right.
And I've got right-wing pages that think I'm Antifa because I pick holes in their logic.
It's your outfit.
Because if this outfit is comfortable and it's my show, and I could care less.
Is this your show?
Is this your show?
My show. My name is on it. It's my show.
Is this your show?
Shut up.
But when I use the argument when you say nothing, when all these facts have not been heard in court, Arcade City. Has there been any arrests with Arcade City? Has there been any?
Arcade City is a Facebook page.
Arcade City was a fraudulent company.
That was one guy. It was never an LLC. It was never registered with the state of Texas. It was a Facebook page that one guy one guy,
which nothing happened to.
Uno guy.
used as a front to scam money. The feds are after that one guy. They can't do anything to something that doesn't exist. It's like Antifa. Antifa is a Facebook page.
Wasn't Arcade City like a gypsy tech cab service?
Well, basically, when Uber left, a bunch of Uber drivers started a web page, a Facebook page called Arcade City, and this was this grand idea that they could connect passengers and drivers and take out, and the drivers would keep 100% of the money because Arcade City was nothing. So a scam artist jumped. What was his name?
Christopher David.
Christopher David, who was on this show. I had him on the show.
I hate him.
Christopher David used that web page to get investors to give him millions of dollars. And he was promising an app that you could go on. Well, the problem with Arcade City that I saw from a public safety standpoint is that there was no traceability.
Right.
So if you go onto Arcade City and somebody got onto that webpage as a driver, there was no vetting process.
Right.
So that driver could go rape you, and there was no there was no app to track picking you up. There was no transaction over the internet to track money exchanging hands,
or even where you were,
or even where we were.
Yeah.
So it was very, very unsafe, and I didn't want to be a part of it because of that. I didn't want to be caught up with somebody accusing me of something that I didn't do, and me not having a system or something in place to protect me as a driver. Where Uber has, when you turn your Uber app on and you pick up a passenger, you're linked to that passenger, and everything you do is on GPS. So if you go, that prevents drivers from taking people for a ride, and it also prevents things from every single Uber. This is something that I want to point out. You know, people come out with numbers about, well, this many people were raped or beaten by Uber drivers. Yeah, every one of those Uber drivers was caught. Every one of them.
So my dad has GoGo Granddad, which is a service that's provided through or for the elderly by Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
So we could be getting an Uber or Lyft. So I use that service sometimes to kind of get somewhere with him and then pick up my car or whatever. So I have gotten in and tried to say, I don't know the address, but I'll give you the directions. Nope. You got to give me the address.
Yeah, they have to put the address in the app. Absolutely. I would not move until I had an address to put in there. Even if they didn't know the exact address, I would put them somewhere close so that the app could trace me to there.
Yeah.
And I also got a dash cam, the interior and exterior dash cam, just for my safety, and that came in handy. I don't know how many times. But
so the last 2 times I've been picked up by women. Older women of color, actually.
Yeah.
It's been interesting.
Well, Ride Austin, which was a fill-in company when Uber and Lyft left, and the last one to finally call it quits, COVID kind of did them in, they had an option where you could request a woman only or a highly rated driver for safety.
The first time I went into Uber, my friend Mark Thompson put me in the Uber. And he goes, Joe, you have to go home because if I drink too much, he makes me go home. Or he takes me home or makes me go home. So he goes, you got to go. You got to go. And I'm like, no, I'm putting in you. So he called Uber for me. And I get in, and the guy it's an older guy, and he has a nice Lexus. And he has a pillow right here on his armrest. And I'm texting Mark saying, I'm going to be killed tonight. This guy has a pillow. He's going to stop and strangle me. He is totally going to strangle me. And you have just put me in the car, and the guy's like real chatty, and I'm thinking, I know what this is about. I know what's happening. Well, he just had bursitis in his shoulder, so the pillow kind of helped prop him up. But I was like, this is it. I'm going to get killed by this guy in a Lexus with a pillow. I knew
because that's, if you're going to kill somebody, you're going to get your pillow and get in a Lexus.
Because he could strangle me with his pillow.
Well, I picked up these 3 gals from a bar on
Good,
the east
where's
side.
good in Infinity?
And they get in, and the girl that got in the front seat, like looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "Don't murder us." And I was like, "You guys outnumber me 3-1. I should be worried."
Yeah.
Like, you're having me drive all the way to these like
don't murder me.
Buda.
Right. That's funny.
Well, let's hear another song.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to sing?
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Do you have the words?
Sweet.
I think I know them. I haven't done very many Christmas songs. You're pretty lucky because I haven't done any Christmas songs on any of my gigs. And the reason why is because I feel like 2020 totally tainted. I'm afraid that it's going to taint Christmas. But I was telling Dan, my boyfriend, who I can't wait for you to meet. I was telling him tonight. Oh, no, I don't think I was telling him. I think I was telling my guitar player. I want to have my other guitar player.
Yeah, use his. His screen's bigger.
That I really want to have a jam and.
So is it Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Got that one keyed up there, Alex?
If we're lucky, we could probably get Davis to sing Feliz Navidad.
We give some of this Mad Dog, maybe it'll happen. Ladies and
Nah, it is
gentlemen,
true.
again, Joel and Lyons, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas here on the air.
And then I want to talk about the vaccine. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be far away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us travel near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together if the fates allow. Hang a star high upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. I probably should have warmed up my voice. I think there's a little, like, whatever right now. Yeah, there is. There's a little break.
A bridge.
A bridge, thank you. I should know that.
That's it?
No. So, a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be far away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are near to us travel near to us once more. Drink, I messed that up. Through the years, we all will be together if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
right. That's awesome.
Here's your phone. Okay, so guess what? I don't have to take the vaccine.
I am not going to take the vaccine.
I know, but I have an excuse.
What's that?
I had Bell's palsy when I was a freshman.
That's one of the documented side effects.
Yes.
Bell's palsy. Did you see the nurse that was giving an interview and she took the vaccine and passed out?
In the interview?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the interview.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they had to rush her back.
No.
I'm not taking it because I'm just not taking it.
Well, I'm not either.
I'm going to
But
let
I just
my
found out
body's
about the Bell's
immune
body.
system fight off whatever
Right.
disease comes into my
Which
body.
is what I do pretty much with everything
See
else.
what they need to do is they need to do a T cell test to see if those who've already had COVID, T cell and or antibody test to see if you've already had it or not. Because there's no point in taking the vaccine
Pretty
if you already have
they
it.
do have those tests already.
Yeah.
Well, I know they have the antibody test, but do they have the T cell test?
I don't know, probably.
I mean, yeah. Do they have the T cell tests?
Well,
But I am going to
either
start
way,
a
I'm not gonna.
business.
I'm not gonna
Look,
take it.
it doesn't matter because by the time that you guys are ready to get your, able to get your vaccine, one, you'll already see what happens with all the side effects, and at least immediately, because it's going to be months before normal ass people can get their
hands
Oh
on
yeah,
this
it's going to
vaccine.
be the summertime at least.
months.
Yeah, it's
months. So
halfway through the year.
Don't worry about it. By then,
And I'm not going to fight to get in that line either.
No.
Yeah.
yeah, no. I'm not gonna discount it and say like, no, I'm not taking it.
But
But
I am
I'm
going to start a business selling fake IDs for people who've had vaccines.
Yeah. See, I'm
wouldn't
just
admit that on
excited.
the
Like
World
if they
Wide
make
Web.
it for when people they're like,
have
oh,
to do
you're
this?
Yeah, YouTube's got this algorithm that's actually could tell what we're talking about. Like for example,
I
last
know, I
week.
got one listener that's mad at me because I want to do my show the way I want to, and we
Who's
got to
your
do it the way
listener?
he wants to.
Who's your
you
listener?
keep saying it's him, but it's like obviously it's me and Davis too. Like we're
Well-
antagonizing as well.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
the
you guys
Bengals
are doing
won.
it because you think it's
They
funny.
did.
Yeah,
The Bengals won.
Yeah.
He's
Pittsburgh
probably doing
lost
it.
3 in a row.
So need to.
3 losses in a row for Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Chuck,
See, that's why Chuck hasn't even piped in tonight. He's
The only reason I
poor
will
Chuck.
go for the Bengals is because of Joe Burrows, who came out of LSU.
yeah, he was hurt.
Yeah.
and they still beat Pittsburgh.
Oh, it was a tough game. I was watching the beginning of it, and it's like if Cincinnati would have played like that the whole season, they'd have a winning record.
Well, same thing with the Cowboys. They somehow are pulling off wins
no,
now.
the Cowboys just suck.
Anyway,
True,
after
but it is the NFC East. So
after almost a half hour of deflection, I wanted, I wanted Leland to answer my question that I originally asked about what's with his boy and the head.
wait.
of the ATF.
Did he? Is that one of his appointments? Because the ATF keeps going back and forth on the bump stocks. Oh, excuse me, on the braces.
Yeah.
What are
No, they
braces?
straight up abolished by your boy's orders bump stocks.
Yeah,
So-
Trump was like executive order, no more bump stocks, and now they're going after braces. You should call up your boy and
They
be
keep
like,
going-
hey,
I know what a bump stock is. What is
Don't.
a brace? Tell me what a
A
brace
brace is a device that attaches to the back of a pistol or what is classified as a pistol to help stabilize, and
Yeah.
it attaches to your forearm with like Velcro or
straps.
a strap of some sort, and
Oh,
it
so
makes
like
it
if
easier
you-
Just kind
to
of
stabilize.
makes an extension.
So
of
if
your
you're like
arm.
walking down the street with cowboy boots and a duster and a hat, you pull them out.
Hypothetically speaking,
except
This
for
attached
it's
to your
I
wrist.
have, and it was actually
well, except that people for these particular firearms are using them as basically stocks, and so they're trying to say that these pistols are short barrel rifles, and they're trying to say they're part of the National Firearms Act and require a tax stamp.
So
They keep going back and forth
Yeah.
on that.
So we're not taking your guns. We're just going to make them so expensive you can't afford them.
yeah.
That's the first step.
They're
By-
waiving the tax fee to have
yeah,
people register them
they're-
right before we have a president-elect who's declaring that there will be a gun buyback program. So
Yeah.
it's like, no.
by executive or confiscation by executive order, which the courts are not going to hear because it's going to say it's not within jurisdictional standing.
You can't do a confiscation by executive order. It's
So-
not legal.
Well, there's a lot
Well,
of
if
things
the
that
courts
do
if the
that's
courts refuse to
legal,
hear
so-
it,
that's
then
legal, and they just do.
And they just do.
So Dan, the Norwegian chocolate,
Bump stocks are not firearms.
who
Neither
They
are
got
magazines.
classified as
on
firearms
Facebook
and then
was
banned.
called- Somebody called him a Texas Bluto, and he's like, "That is a great name,
what?
a Texas Bluto," because he was arguing about politics, and he's pretty conservative. He's a critical thinker though. But he took me to the range, and I hit all of right in the circle, all of them. Boom,
So you
boom,
hit
boom.
bullseyes.
All, yeah.
So you're deadly.
Yeah.
Eh,
I'm like
eh,
4 feet away. I'm
Nice.
extremely deadly. So, yeah, it was pretty fun. And so,
Leland, you gonna answer that question or what?
so we got in the car.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what his boy's not even going to be president anymore.
It's
So
not his boy.
you know,
It's his daddy.
his daddy's not president anymore.
Get wrecked. Yeah.
Do you know? Hey,
Joe
listen,
Biden's his daddy now.
Actually,
Yeah.
Trump is the
Daddy
reason why so many
Biden
people voted.
cummies.
Stop.
You realize that, right?
So many dead people, but anyways.
No.
You
what I'm
say all
saying-
this stuff, but
no,
none
what
of
I'm
it has
saying-
been proven.
It has been proven.
It has
It
not.
has been proven.
Getting a meme on a Republican, conservative, right-wing echo chamber website is not proof.
Going
Have
to
you seen-
showmetheevidence.com it shows all the evidence.
Have you seen the
Okay.
testimony before
Somebody
Congress?
go to that site, Alex.
You've seen the testimony before
ShowMeTheEvidence.com.
Congress,
Go to
right?
that site, Alex, and bring it up on the big screen so everybody can see the right-wing echo chamber.
We
there.
are looking
Have you
at
seen
evidence.
The testimony before Congress? The people testifying before Congress?
For what? Voter fraud?
Yeah. Have you seen that?
Is that a thing?
Yeah. It's
And
happened.
what- and what
it
happened?
like 3 weeks ago.
And what happened?
Sick.
And what happened?
I don't know what happened. I just watched it. I mean, I wasn't.
But what was?
Well, what happened was that the Magnificent Seven states put out.
Hold the mic away from your mouth, or turn that mic down like half,
Yeah.
because he just wants to jam it in his mouth like he's trying to get new shoes.
Actually, on one,
Oh, I-
on one of those guys,
Wait, what?
on one of
mean,
those
it's fine, yeah.
situations, on one of those in one of those hearings, there was a female Democratic representative, and she was saying to the person testifying, "You're lying, you're lying, you're lying," and they kicked her off the committee.
Well, you know, that's
Really?
politics.
Right? Well, no, it's totally.
That's why they set out 2 sets of electors from these 7 states.
Hey, Leland, what is that? What am I looking up here?
Show me.
He said ratemypoo.com.
y'all. You can.
That's why they're in the other room.
Yeah, that's why we hide in here.
Show
And,
me.
ShowMeTheEvidence.com.
apparently,
Show
one
me the-
listener wants them to secede from the show, so they're going to have their own political show. And I really,
Secede.
my vision for this show is to have a political segment, but not have 2 hours of yelling at Leland because it gets old. It
Dude,
gets old
2
and it's
hours of
boring
yelling at
and
Leland
it's
sounds
just-
awesome.
It wouldn't be 2 hours of yelling at Leland
Yeah.
if he answered the fucking questions.
Well, see,
Yes.
It would only be an hour of it.
Followed by making fun of Leland.
So Show Me the Evidence is a medical website.
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
Show me the evidence. Dit Kim.
When I first discovered the internet, I
Yeah, what was
found a
that like?
website called
What was that like?
Duty.com.
Nice.
DOODY.com. And my little friend Kim Thompson, who was from Tennessee, and she talked like this every day, all the time. But she was really smart and really well respected. And she'd say, "Joellen, pull up duty.com. There's no one in the office. I want to see what's on there." And we would pull it up.
Duty.com.
And there was a cartoon every day with a new duty.
Somebody took
Duty.
a
new
picture of their
duty.
duty.
No, it was a cartoon.
Yeah,
It was a goofy duty cartoon, and so that's what I did.
that's a medical site. There.
How about try Here's the Evidence?
Here's the evidence.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That's.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds
Try
like
Show
That
Me
doesn't
Money.
sound like a politically motivated website driven by an
Yeah.
ideology to push false
All right.
narratives.
we are clicking it, and so far it's not loading very well.
Says the connection is not secure.
Yeah,
I'd
also.
be worried
Here's
about
the
your
other thing.
information
Yeah,
getting
I would
stolen,
worry about
but
my-
You have TikTok on your phone, so you don't really care about your information getting stolen.
Do ya?
And Zoom.
You
From the
pro
Chinese-
Do you
communist.
think
From the
that I should do
CCP.
TikTok for the band?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
You think I should?
Oh, it's a great marketing.
Am I gonna have to
tool.
dance?
No,
I mean, unless you want to.
they've got a huge musician presence
Yeah.
They do?
of singers and musicians on there that are
Alright, I have to do
fantastic.
that.
They're absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic.
Okay.
Now, the best part about TikTok is the fact that it's, ran by the CCCP. So
China.
that's cool.
It's ran by
You know,
China. So you're going to be showing Chinese your deepest.
Yeah, the
darkest
Chinese
secrets.
Communist Party owns TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when
Your
we
deepest, darkest
when
secrets.
COVID first started, I was talking to a guy that I used to date years ago when I was like 23. So I mean, we've known each other almost 40 years. He's in China as a teacher. He's a writer and a musician, but he's in China. And I would send him a video, and he'd go, "I'm not gonna be able to see that for another day. I know you sent a video, but I can't see it for another day."
Yeah, because it's got to go through
Because
there.
it's got to go through their sensors. And then they went into, he's a musician, so an excellent musician, actually. And then COVID hit, and he's like what he was describing to me was so surreal. And I was like, why don't you just go outside? It's like, Joe, I can't, because he was about an hour and a half from Wuhan.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was intense.
So we have an update.
What's the update?
We've gained access to this Bush League ass looking website that Leland was talking about.
Dude, yeah, this looks like
Here's the evidence. So let me ask you these questions as you bring it up. You're going to put it out on the big screen. We're 30 seconds behind, so I'll wait.
yeah, it's up there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up.
So does this website present information that could be considered part of a critical thinking, information gathering think space, or is it basically an arm of the OAN?
It has a Parler hyperlink on it.
Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
Dan Bunker.
But at like the same
It
time,
has 1,400 followers, so that's big hitters.
Yeah.
1,400 followers.
The hyperlink that I did click on went to this website that has Trump and what's up. Well, you know,
yeah.
let's see.
That was 1998.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, this is like
I mean, they didn't even use like GoDaddy.com. or
ISIS had better websites than this.
ISIS has very.
Yeah.
ISIS also has Toyota pickup trucks.
That
New
doesn't mean
ones.
shit.
Yeah, well, dude.
Those things are like all over the place outside
Yeah,
of the U.S.
Toyota pickup trucks outside of the U.S. are like a dime a dozen. Like, I could
ones.
trade 3 Camels for a Toyota pickup truck. And they'd be like, oh, you got a good deal by trading 3 Camels.
Why does Antifa.com go to JoeBiden.com?
Yeah, because
Somebody was a huge dick. I'm sorry, but that was really funny.
That's
How
funny.
did that happen?
Somebody bought
Of course, you think it's funny. What if they clicked on a white supremacist website and went to daddytrump.com?
That would also be fucking
it probably already
hilarious.
happens. It probably already.
Would you turn his mic down a little bit because he just cannot?
you keep saying that, but honestly, I think it's just your
well,
janky ass
okay.
headphones.
Well, because of my janky ass headphones, move his slider down about
I
a
love the word
third.
janky. I think janky is a great word.
I can't even hear
I think it should
myself.
be
Right?
used more often, and I think I'm going to write
There
a
you go.
song
That's
about
better.
janky.
Thank you.
Leland.
What?
What?
Huh?
All right,
This
so
is what this.
what am I exactly am I
we
looking
had.
for?
Yeah, what
a
are we looking
2-hour
for?
show
It,
with
it,
2 breaks.
Daddy
And all it was these 2 knuckleheads and me pushing his ideology to the limit.
Wait,
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
He's gonna sit there and act like his what's called.
Yeah,
his-
if he wants to be like King Trumpetron, you know, you have to expect, you know, the hard conversations coming with me and my dissenting opinions that are fueled by hard work days and me being mad every Monday morning because it exists. So, you know, that's part of like the show is like, unfortunately, you're
God,
going
that's
to
a
come with these
horrible
attitudes
website.
and then I'm just going to be here and just be a dick.
Yeah, that's basically the website. You that's basically an
But
ideological.
you know what
echo
you can
chamber.
thank Trump for? Seriously, you can thank Trump for people that are 24 paying attention to the presidential race.
That is true. And,
That is true.
And I made that
I will give
point
it to him.
That more, you know, over 100, almost 150 million people, half the population, 1 out of every 2 people
Right.
voted this time.
Right.
And that's unprecedented because usually
Right.
it's like 1 out of 8.
Because Trump has been the catalyst for so many crazy conversations that people who, I mean, when I was 24, I was living in Mexico. I was on the beach.
Okay,
You know?
holy shit, that is awesome.
It was. It was amazing. I was dating the Burt Reynolds of Mexico in Cancun, Mexico. in Acapulco. But the point is, I wasn't paying. I figured, oh, the adults, they're taking care of all of the political stuff. I don't have to worry about it.
Literally, the first time I got a paycheck and I saw what they took out in taxes, I immediately was like, fuck this.
Politics? Yeah.
Who do I have to get into office to keep this from happening?
And you know, one of the things Trump did was that he did lower our taxes at the
That was a
working
concerted
level.
effort, though. He just signed the paper.
Yeah, but
he
still, that happened
he
under
still
his
signed
watch.
it.
Yeah,
You know?
but just like things that happened under Obama's watch and things that happened under Bush's watch and things that happened under Clinton's watch, you can't say, but if you don't agree with the ideology, the guy's in charge, it's his fault.
You've got to be intellectually honest with it. You can say.
I mean, I don't like Trump any more than the next guy, but I'm glad that I didn't have to pay all that.
Yeah.
that tax.
You have to be
like
intellectually
washing
honest
Leland's
and say,
winky
you know
with
what?
this hand and then like washing somebody
I
else's
don't really
with this
like
hand,
him.
so-
I don't
No,
like
I
this.
just-
I don't like this. He may not have done all
No,
of
that's
this.
not
but he
it at
did-
all.
he
I
did
can't-
participate
A
in
little
some
winky.
good things.
Yeah, you can't. No, you. To be a critical thinker, you cannot shut out information and facts just because it doesn't fit a certain narrative.
Amen.
Okay,
Hallelujah.
some facts about the
somebody
Trump
on the show who does
presidency
that.
that happened are the Korean War finally ended after 70 years. He was the first American president to visit North Korea and walk across Panmunjom. No other president has done that.
Dennis Rodman
He
did it
that.
like a lot.
He's
I'm
not the president. I'm talking
Dennis
about a
Rodman
United
has
States
pink hair.
sitting president.
They
He
needed
did
someone
that.
with orange hair.
And a bunch of and all those peace treaties over in the Middle East that are being signed right now, those are all happening. And even though you don't like Trump, you can't say that that's not good stuff that's happening over there.
He also hasn't started a war.
Now
under his presidency.
I'm glad he's not president anymore, and I'm sad that Biden was the alternative. I much more would have liked Dr. Joe Jorgensen to. I was hoping that with the turnout, that people were finally tired of the two knuckleheads at the two parties, and we'd break the two-party system and get a third party in there, which I really think needs to happen.
I would have voted for Tulsi. Like,
Or
My
any
dad-
any
you
other
know what?
candidate in the Democratic pool that was far better than
Here's
Joe
what's
Biden.
interesting is that my dad is 88 years old. He is a staunch Republican, and he would have voted for Tulsi in a New York minute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely would have voted for Tulsi.
Tulsi, I think, was the better pick.
Yeah.
if it was Tulsi, Buttigieg, that would have been.
Gabbard.
That would have been a dream ticket. Get some youngsters in
Yeah,
there.
Tulsi
No
and-
offense to like the older people, but it's like
I would have even voted for Buttigieg.
Yeah,
to be
there
honest
should
with
be
you.
there should be term limits. There should be age limits to running for president.
And it could have been,
Well,
if
definitely, there should be term limits for Congress and the House.
it was Tulsi and Pete,
Absolutely.
it would be TP.
I,
It'd be
and
the
I
TP
think
ticket.
that needs to happen. That needs to happen. We need to get a rotation of those folks out of there.
Actually,
so people-
Ted Cruz introduced a bill that puts term limits on the Senate. It's
Yeah.
only 2 terms.
Yeah, no, that would be
It was for
friggin'
both.
sweet.
It
That would
was
be
for
the
both. 'Cause if
coolest
the
thing the
Senate's-
cruise missile
if the-
ever did.
If the Senate does it, then the House has to do
That'll
it
be
too.
12 years.
Okay, so here's the other thing. When you're
Yeah, quick witty. They were terrible and illegal because you don't like Trump. That's the only reason. Go read the
treaties won't
treaties.
hold. They're
so
like
here's the other thing.
No,
If
none,
you're-
no treaties ever do.
If you're gonna be
Because presidents change, regimes change, leaders change.
Yeah,
But how
obviously
many- how
those
many
treaties
treat-
of
how many-
Versailles did really well.
I mean,
yeah.
Carter got Egypt and Israel together back in the 70s and had that huge treaty. It was a big deal. It brought peace to the Middle East for a certain amount of time. The problem with the Middle East is that we don't need to be doing anything over there, personally, in my opinion.
Yeah, we already
don't
fund a whole country to
we
do
don't
it
need
for
to
us.
do nothing over there but pull everything. I'll pull all of our troops out, pull all of our military stuff out. We've already built up Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia needs to take control of that whole area over
Saudi
there.
Arabia needs to chill the fuck out.
They
no,
need to
Saudi
do
Arabia-
and if the shitstorm breaks out over there and they all start killing each other, we just need to stand back and let them
Well,
because
right
it's
now-
not our problem.
As of right now, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Dubai,
No, quick
and
witty, you're
Egypt are all
misinformed.
kind of working together now, and now they're just kind of like hating on Qatar because they still like are allowing
no.
Al
You-
Jazeera to
Matter of fact, I'm
exist.
gonna, or you know what?
He doesn't just talk
so
about.
Yeah.
Mike,
Educate yourself, and
One
then we
of-
can. That's why I don't want
Qatar
to have a
and-
political show because we got idiots that come
can
on
we
here.
go back
They're
to the
not informed, and they
conversation?
don't do anything but just
can we go back
muddy
to the
the water.
conversation
Sure.
about critical thinking?
yeah.
One of the first steps in critical thinking is to recognize that anytime you are having a discussion with someone and you only have two options, it's either the left or the right. It's either this or that. You've lost the critical thinking battle right there.
Yeah.
Because there's almost always a third option.
Well, it's not about left or right.
No,
it's never about left or right.
I'm not talking about left or right, though. I'm talking about the critical thinking. Is completely removed as soon as you allow yourself to move into a divisive, it's us or them.
Emotion. No, when you attach emotion
mentality,
to it.
Not just emotion, but mentality.
Well, that's the emotion.
Because
he's emotionally attached to the Republican Party.
Right. But
there's no fact or logic in anything he thinks about, but he's emotionally attached to it, and he's identified with it, and it's a part of his identity.
But it's a habit of thinking.
Yeah.
It's a habit of thinking. That's, okay, well, if I hear this from the left, I'm going to have to find the right counterpoint. Or if I hear this from the right, I'm going to have to find the left counterpoint.
Yeah, and then they latch onto it, and it's confirmation bias.
And then,
and then it goes into confirmation bias. Exactly.
Then you stay in this mindset of, I only hear things through the filter of us versus them.
And that's my point.
And
that's my point, where you can't say that everything Trump did was wrong just because he's a Republican.
Right. I mean,
you have to look at the facts. You have to look at the now. And again, when Biden becomes president, we're not going to be able to say, well, Biden's the worst president ever just because we're not Democrats. We can't say that and be a critical thinker. You cannot think that and be a critical thinker.
No.
You can't.
I'm just waiting for him to ban something I'm totally cool with, and I'll be like, yeah, he's officially the worst person ever. And then I'm going to be playing Fortunate Son so hard.
He's going to do that.
The Vietnamese will hear it from Texas.
He's going to do that the first day with guns.
Yeah.
Anyway, going back to the whole idea of being a critical thinker.
He's openly said that.
If someone, I often wonder if someone would start a political party, whose very first goal was to be critical thinkers.
Well, that was Ross Perot with the Reform Party.
Was it?
Well, there's three political parties.
I think
actually.
I was in Mexico during that time.
There's three political parties actually that embrace that, and that's why they don't get much traction, in my opinion, is because people can't attach an emotional connection with, because there is no echo chamber.
It doesn't make for good television.
It doesn't make for good television. You can't control people.
That's a huge part of that.
And you can't control people with it because people are thinking for themselves. That's the Reform Party, the Constitutional Party, and the Libertarian Party.
So I've never heard of the Constitutional Party.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You've never heard of them.
Right.
And all three of those stand on the tenet that you are individually responsible for everything you do. You can't blame government or anybody else.
Right.
And that you are in life exactly where you are today because of the decisions you've made and who you've allowed to manipulate you into this position. I would love to be a multimillionaire. I'm working very hard to be a multimillionaire. Will I ever be a multimillionaire? It doesn't matter. As long as that path I'm traveling is my path and I've made the decisions or make the decisions or overcome the fear to make the decisions to become a multimillionaire, I can. There's nobody holding on to a bunch of money that I don't have access to, that I need to be given. It doesn't work that way. It's not finite.
Well, actually, there's this.
No, it's not finite. I'm not even going down that path because we're at like 5 minutes left.
Are you saying you don't have the right lottery numbers? I'm not.
No. What I'm saying is that everybody, when you tie into a left and right ideology, you have assigned blame, and you've attached your emotion to the echo chamber and confirmation bias, and that's the only thing that defines you. You have because a lot of times there's things that happen that I don't agree with, but I'm not allowed to disagree with it because of my ideology. I have to be a part of the team, or else I'm a this, or I'm a that, or I'm a snowflake. That's the new thing now is a snowflake.
I think the Libertarian Party is the only party that constantly shits on itself.
Yeah, basically. Literally, it's like the worst sometimes.
It's like it's probably super hard to be a libertarian in politics. Just because if you slip up one time,
everybody was
Twitter
like, "You're the worst."
Yeah.
I'm going to shit on your face.
And again that. And again, that goes all down to the confirmation.
The Libertarian Party?
Well, no, that's people in the Libertarian Party.
What's his face?
Not the Libertarian Party as a whole.
2016 was a perfect example of that. Bill Weld. He was
Yeah.
very much anti-gun. He was to the left of Mitt Romney when it comes to gun rights.
Actually, Mitt Romney had an assault weapons ban in Massachusetts while he was governor. So
Yeah, so that means that Bill Weld is a million times worse than Mitt Romney, and Mitt Romney's a piece of shit.
But the thing that Bill Weld understood, and this is that what I'm talking about, because now you're all emotionally attached to it and you don't look at the facts. He's also admitted that if he were to become
quivering with emotion, I can tell
if he
you
were
that.
to become vice president, he would honor the Constitution of the United States. He cannot like something and not force that on everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he very publicly said that.
Yep.
He also
that he
realized
doesn't like guns, but he's not going to get into power and say, well, because I don't like guns, you can't have one.
He also realized
which is
that
what
people
anti-gunners want.
would shit on him super hard.
Yeah,
and
plus
did.
it'll never happen. So you can yell and scream into that mic after I've told you time and time not to do it, that Biden's going to take our guns.
He is.
No one's going to take our
Yeah,
guns. They're going to make it harder. They're going to come up with some fucked up laws, but over time, just like the weapons ban that Clinton had back in 90
Because it had a sunset.
They're all going to
Do you
have
think
that.
he's going to make an
No, they
announcement?
won't.
Because it's a
Do
moment.
you know that?
Now Mike's in there just hoping for a civil war. So I'm not really listening to
Whoa.
him.
He's
Nobody here is-
He's hoping for
now
a
you're
shit.
just pegging me as a civil war.
I'm agreeing
He's
with
not a
Davis, 'cause
collapsitarian,
If you read the text,
He's hoping that he can go through like me, and go through after the boogaloo starts, and all the guys that spend all the money on their stuff get clapped in the first day, and we can go out there and get a whole bunch of cool stuff.
What are you talking about? I already have cool stuff.
If you read
Do you want
the
me to sing
text
another
of the
song?
Obama gun ban, that the only reason why it didn't pass was that there was actually a few Democrats that realized they would have lost re-election if they went along with voting for the bill, and they voted against the bill and went against Obama. It would have banned any semi-automatic rifle. Would put a magazine cap on. It would have put a national registry in place. It was really fucking bad.
Quick witty, you know what?
Alex, put on.
Dude, shut up.
Chestnuts roasting on the Christmas song. I'm
Gotcha.
gonna sing the Christmas song.
You want to sing a
I'm gonna
Christmas
sing
song?
you
Let's
out.
sing it. Let's sing us out, man.
Christmas
We're done. This is the
song.
last show of the year. Thanks for joining us throughout the whole year. The next year, we will have a segment on politics, maybe 15 minutes long, and then we're going to have artists in here, short movies, skits, comedy, singers, bands. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Live snake handling.
Live snake handling.
Dude, really?
Really?
Oh, sorry.
That'd be awesome.
I was just
Okay, I just
excited.
got like super excited. Who's gonna bring pet snakes?
We'll
Can we
find-
release?
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's find the guy that does it every year at the Capitol.
Can we
and
get
have him
one of
come
those
here.
ones that could eat
Look, I was in
Leland?
the French Quarter this year, and there were like two different guys with
He looks like a
long
pinky,
yellow
that's why.
snakes that were like this big around.
Boa constrictors.
Yeah, they were massive. They were 12 feet long. They were so. I was like trying very hard to walk fast away.
Oh, I love snakes, man.
No.
So what song are we singing?
Christmas Story. It's the Christmas song.
The chestnuts on open fire.
Yeah, and it was written in L.A.
Uh-huh.
by two people who were really homesick for Christmas. I can't remember their names.
You got that keyed up, Alex?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, sure, why not? All right.
Thank you for
Christmas
having me
song.
on.
We're going to go
Thank
right
you for
into
having
our.
me on.
Oh man, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate
and
it.
have a Merry Christmas. Thank you for singing your songs. We're
I'll be
gonna
sure and tell your friend.
one more
Please
Christmas
have a-
song right into the closing credits. Please have a Merry Christmas. Everybody drive safe. Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber. They're out there. Help my boys, man. I don't drive for them anymore, but there's some guys out there making good money to get you home safe all the way through the new year. Coming back next year strong with even more stuff, better cameras. It's
Better
going to be a great
lights?
time. Better lights.
Better background lights.
Better background lights, not this stuff.
Nicer sofa.
More
Tiffany
politics.
will have a bigger pot, and she'll be a little bit bigger, hopefully, and we'll have a good time. So, for the last time in 2020, Joe Ellen Lyons, the Christmas song, and we'll see you next year. I'm Mike Allen. This has been the Radio Man Cave, and you've been on the air.
Can we get a better tablecloth? This towel needs to go.
I know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe. Which one of these guys is the turkey? Helps to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna try to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase from kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna try to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Thank y'all. Thanks for having me. And Merry Christmas, y'all.
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.